This week on Inside Boulder News, President Obama makes his third visit to Boulder this year, the numbers are in on pro cycling's economic impact, and Boulder Housing Partners receives a global award.
Welcome to Inside Boulder, featuring topics and stories that impact the community of Boulder, with Patrick Von Kaiserling and Jennifer Bray. And on the news desk, Natalie Wood and Mike Benuelos bring you the stories making headlines in the community this week. Inside Boulder News starts now.
Welcome to Inside Boulder News. I'm Natalie Wood. Boulder received a special visit this week despite the travel difficulties posed by Superstorm Sandy. President Obama spoke at CU's Coors Event Center on Thursday as part of his re-election campaign. The president canceled the Colorado Springs event on Tuesday due to the East Coast storm, but was able to make the Boulder stop.
For the past few days, all of us have been focused on one of the worst storms of our lifetime. And we're awed and humbled by nature's destructive power. We mourn those who were lost. Obviously, our hearts and our thoughts and prayers go out to the families. But, we've also been inspired these past few days. Because when disaster strikes, we see America at its best. We're reminded there are no Democrats or Republicans during a crisis, just fellow Americans.
The Thursday rally was Obama's third trip to Boulder this year. Political analysts say the frequency of campaign stops reinforces the fact that Colorado is a key battleground state in this year's election. Around 60,000 people made the trip to Boulder in August to watch the Pro Cycling Challenge pass through town. This, according to a recent study that analyzed the economic impacts of the race. The study, performed by the Leeds School of Business, found that visitors spent $1.2 million on the day of the race, generating about $48,000 in sales tax revenue. Inside Boulder News spoke with the city's finance director about the significance of these figures and the less quantifiable impacts the race had for Boulder.
What the Leeds study did was it accumulated the direct revenue impacts. There were over 450 surveys. They went from Iris to Table Mesa. We had people here on the mall. We also had people up on Flagstaff and doing those surveys. And out of that, then the information was compiled and say what was the impact. Well, at the same time that was going on, we had CU Boulder students moving back into Boulder and into the dorms. So we had to try to separate that, and the surveys allowed us to do that. It generated around $48,000 just in sales tax revenue. Of all those people surveyed, nearly all of them said, yes, we're coming back to Boulder again. And we looked to the future, we said that's really good for Boulder.
The local organizing committee said they believe 2012 was a great success. The committee has announced it will take 2013 off so that the race can continue to offer fresh routes and challenges to cyclists. But they are planning to submit a bid for another Boulder stage in 2014. Red Oak Park, one of Boulder Housing Partners' newest developments, has been recognized with the prestigious 2012 Global Award for Excellence in Real Estate Design and Development by the Urban Land Institute. The residential units at Red Oak are energy efficient and set high standards for design while offering much needed affordability. Take a look. This former mobile home park on Valmont Road doesn't look like your typical affordable housing development.
This is Red Oak Park. It's the redevelopment of a mobile home park that was built in 1961. Some of the mobile homes that were here really needed some redevelopment, so we started that process in about 2006 to create this new community.
Community is a key word in describing Red Oak Park. The redeveloped neighborhood features a community center for youth programs and neighborhood events, including multicultural workshops for art, science, and math.
It's really an after-school program to help kids excel and build their skills. That lets out, this park fills up with kids, moms and dads come over, there's a soccer game out, and it's very, very lively.
It's a beautiful place. It serves the needs of lower-income residents exceptionally well, and gives them a much nicer place to live, and it was built with energy efficiency in mind, very much so. Everything about the project was built to be energy efficient and therefore both more environmentally sound, longer lasting, and, of course, less expensive.
The homes were designed with green features like efficient walls, windows, heating and cooling systems, and Energy Star appliances. These efficiencies help reduce environmental impact and utility costs for residents.
Some of these units are saving somewhere on the order of 50% of their operating costs on an annual basis in terms of electricity and gas, things like that.
Along with savings on utility costs, the units are classified as 100% affordable, with rents around 20 to 50% less than similar units in Boulder.
It's the community, affordability, and great design all packaged in one thing. It's an amazing location, center, bus service, retail, all these wonderful aspects of just what you want to create in a community.
Phase 2 of Red Oak Park will start in the next couple of years and will include commercial space along with 20 more units. Red Oak Park was selected as one of 14 global winners from a broad mix of exemplary projects from around the world. Bridge House is celebrating the launch of a new resource center that makes homeless services more accessible and effective for homeless adults. The center, which is the first to offer drop-in hours in Boulder, is over a year in the making. Bridge House leaders are hopeful that the space at 1603 Walnut will help more homeless people get back to self-sufficiency.
We have over 750 homeless folks in Boulder. Bridge House serves single homeless adults, and there's really been a lack of coordinated strategies around getting people plugged in with the services that they're eligible for. We've developed a center where we can bring together complementary service providers who work with the homeless to make services more accessible, more effective, and more efficient.
We've been grappling with the issue of homelessness for a long time, and I think this center is going to be an important piece in trying to tackle those really tough issues that we have.
The city has been working with the Bridge House for funding and to help support the services that they provide in the community. And the opening of the Day Services Center is really a great project and will really help move people toward greater self-sufficiency and stability in their lives, which is what the city is really interested in helping residents do.
Check out boulderbridgehouse.org for information on the Resource Center and other programs like Ready to Work, which helps homeless adults transition back into the workforce. In 1994, Boulder police officer Beth Haynes was shot and killed while responding to a domestic violence call. An annual award is given in her honor to a Boulder County law enforcement officer who has performed admirably in working to end domestic violence. This year's recipient is Boulder Detective Jack Gardner.
He is a dedicated, compassionate, and hardworking detective who cares about justice for domestic violence victims, and all victims for that matter. Beth was a close friend of mine. She was an inspiration to me, and I think she'd be proud that this award was named in her honor. She would be even more proud that Detective Jack Gardner was named as this year's Beth Haynes Memorial Award winner.
I was recently looking at the 2011 ceremony brochure, reading the names of the former recipients, many of who are here today. I can honestly say that I'm very humbled to be included on that list and will do everything that I can to honor Beth in a dignified and respectful way.
Nominees for the award are selected and voted on by their peers, as well as representatives of Boulder County victim advocacy and social services groups. Thanks for watching Inside Boulder News. Stay in touch with us on Facebook by submitting news tips and questions. Just search for City of Boulder Channel 8. More Inside Boulder is next.